Okay, so let's figure out what we need to do. I think we can start with talking with the violinist.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
What's his name?
If I'm not mistaken, you're a violinist.
That's true.
A wonderful instrument. The violin music touches the soul.
That's why I learned to play it.
Do you play in an orchestra?
No, orchestras aren't really part of my world.
A solo violinist. The best soloists travel a great deal and make a pile of money, or so they say.
In that case, I'm probably not one of the best.
Where is he traveling to?
Are you traveling to Istanbul non-stop?
No. I'll transfer in Venice to a ship. I'm on my way to Cairo.
Cairo?
I'm performing at the reception in the Egyptian Museum there.
Unusual occurrences?
I'm sure your recital will be a great success. But tell me, did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Anything unusual?
Persons acting suspiciously, for instance.
For heaven's sake, is there cause for concern?
Everything is in order, sir. We Swiss are just very cautious people.
I understand. No, I didn't notice anything.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me examine the book.
The Vicarage in the Mirror. A detective novel by my favorite author, Lady Clarissa Westmacott. For years now, I've been trying to convince my theater group to stage one of her plays. This is the first car. The coal tender should be directly beyond this door, and in front of it, the engine.
Is that everything? Is it the map?
The large map shows the different routes of the Orient Express. This train began in Paris and ends in Istanbul, as usual. Unfortunately, it will make most of its journey without me.
Well, let's head back.
Very kind of you. Thanks.
Oh.
Oh, pardon me.
No problem. The uniform is waterproof. Mr.
Lucian. Professor Edgar Lucian.
Oh, a professor. Are you a scientist? Do you teach at the Sorbonne?
No, I work at the British Museum in London.
You don't say.
Let me ask him about the burglary at the museum.
So, you were, shall we say, an eyewitness to the burglary 2 days ago?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, no?
There was a lot of commotion, but I didn't really pay much attention to it.
There was a break-in in your museum, and it didn't concern you?
Well, let's just say that nothing that's happened in the last 2,000 years concerns me.
Whatever you say. The famous Inspector Legrand is on this train. I imagine you know him.
No, should I?
You don't know him? And you also don't know what he's doing here?
No. Why should I?
Just a thought. You're a representative of the British Museum. There's a guarded safe on the train.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're trying to imply. And now, please excuse me.
The destination of his trip.
May I ask where you are going?
Of course. To Venice. I'm going to meet some colleagues there.
Oh, Venice. A beautiful city, or so I'm told.
Indeed. But I really have to take my leave now.
Saying anything suspicious?
Just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Here? On the train? No. I can't say that I have. Although I did spend most of the time in my compartment.
Well, he really is suspicious.
I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, but you do understand, don't you, that what concerns me is the present. and especially the robbery at the museum.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's just... I'm in rather a hurry.
You'll get in touch if you notice anything unusual, won't you, Professor?
Of course, Constable. What's this?
What's the matter, sir?
The door. I can't open it.
Ah, we'll sort it out somehow. The compartment is locked.
But I didn't lock it. I don't even have a key. I asked the steward. He was going to bring me one, but he never came back.
Someone locked it.
Find the steward. He needs to bring me the key immediately.
Calm down, Professor. I'll see what I can do.
You don't understand. I have to get back in my compartment.
All right, just wait here.
Well, he's in a hurry, so let's go find the key. Looks like a pretty interesting game. I hope the FPS is fine. I'm getting kind of
I don't
25
believe
FPS. I
it.
hope that's watchable for you guys.
I never thought I'd ever meet you.
Pardon me, but we'd prefer...
Is that the author?
It's all right, Miss Miller. I'd like to speak to the inspector.
Unfortunately, just a constable, Lady Westmacott. I'm reading The Vicarage in the Mirror right now, for the 5th time at least.
That's nice, Constable.
Zellner. Anton Jakob Zellner.
This is my companion, Miss Miller.
A pleasure.
What is she doing here?
May I ask what you're doing here? Are you on holiday?
Holiday? Yes, so to speak. The first and last holiday of my life.
Madam?
I've been writing since I was a little girl. It became my job, and now I've stopped. So, this must be a holiday.
You quit writing? Impossible. I have all of your books. Your Detective Partout is my favorite character.
Then I have bad news for you. I killed the old wretch off years ago.
I don't understand.
I'd rather not discuss my work, Constable.
Oh, well, fine.
Where's she going?
Are you traveling to Istanbul, Lady Westmacott?
No, we are on our way to Venice. From there, we will take a ship to Cairo. As you may know, I have a penchant for archaeology. I fund a few excavations in Egypt. I traveled to Egypt by ship as a young woman. And now I'm doing it again as an old woman.
I see. As a writer, you must be very observant, am I right? I mean, you have to study the behavior of people around you to create the characters in your novels, don't you?
I solved the mystery of human nature a long time ago, Mr. Zellner. Since then, most people just bore me.
Really? I had the impression you were eyeing me suspiciously as I came in.
What do you want to know, Constable?
Let's ask her about the archaeologist.
Did you notice the man who just walked into the next carriage with a cup of tea?
I did. He seemed nervous. He was waiting at the bar for the steward, and since the steward never appeared, he elected to help himself. He took 2 biscuits.
He seems pretty young, but he's already a professor at the British Museum.
Interesting. I'll have to talk to him later. Just out of courtesy, of course.
Of course.
And the violinist?
Did you notice the blonde man with the violin case?
I certainly did. He introduced himself and tried to make a good impression. People like him are drawn to wealth and fame, like moths to a flame.
But his charms failed on you.
I know him by name. David Kreutzer. He was a drain on my friend's purse.
Do you think he has a money problem?
People like him always have a money problem. No matter how much you give them, they always spend twice as much and complain that they have far too little.
Alright, well, I guess just ask her about the other passengers.
Did you notice anyone else? What about the doctor?
I notice that you've asked me about everyone Except for the inspector who went in the direction of the freight car a few minutes ago. Isn't that the Frenchman who made his name when he caught the Raven?
I wouldn't quite say caught.
Well, shot. Why don't you ask me about him and my theory about what he's doing here?
I don't think we should discuss Inspector Legrand's investigation in public.
Legrand, right. That was his name. Will he save the day again? Or will you, Constable?
As much as I'd like to keep talking, duty calls.
You were right.
Madam?
I did observe you as you came in. You seemed so eager.
It's been a long time since I've had a chance to prove myself, madam.
And this is it. Your chance.
I do hope so.
Then grab it. Even small people can make big changes, as my friend Ronald likes to say.
I shall do my best.
There we go. Okay, so that's his idol, or his favorite author, at least.
Butterscotch. I've loved them since I was a child. Their only drawback, they don't play nice with false teeth.
Okay, I'll look behind the bar.
I suppose the steward won't object to me having a look around in his absence. The pad on which the steward writes orders, empty. Maybe he didn't use it because there's not much to do today. Perhaps he keeps the compartment keys in there. Locked. Where could he be?
How do I leave? Oh, go back. Let's go talk to the dude with the newspaper. Dr. I didn't catch his name.
Ah, Mr.
Zellner.
Right, right. How can I help you?
I'll ask him about the robbery in London.
Any news about the robbery in London?
Quite something, wasn't it? It must have been professionals. The way they disabled one of the best security systems in the world. Most impressive.
People were injured.
Well, one cannot execute a robbery of that scale without collateral damage. It seems like the Raven has finally found a worthy successor. We can look forward to new and spectacular coups.
I'm afraid I won't enjoy his exploits this time around if the new Raven is so reckless.
That's your prerogative.
Anything suspicious?
Tell me, did you notice anything suspicious here on the train or in Zurich?
You mean, except for the fact that my suitcase was stolen on the platform? No. Is there any reason to be concerned?
No, just routine.
Constable Zellner, please don't think I'm naive. I spotted the inspector from Interpol. Legarde is his name, if I recall correctly.
Legrand.
If you say so. At the train station in Zurich, he put a cash box into the safe, and then kept close watch as it was loaded onto the train. Don't tell me that a man at his pay grade routinely tramps across the Alps just to keep an eye on cash boxes.
A cash box? Like the ones you'd find in safe deposit boxes?
Precisely. And I believe we both have a good idea just what's inside.
I do indeed have a theory, but what's yours?
A ruby was stolen in London. One of the legendary Eyes of the Sphinx. The second jewel, an emerald, is rumored to be in a Swiss bank vault, if I remember correctly. Both jewels were supposed to be exhibited together in Cairo for the first time in 50 years. It does make one wonder.
Indeed.
Okay, so there's two coincidences that I've seen so far, and it's that the violinist was going to Cairo. I think he was going to Venice and then taking a boat to Cairo, and the author was going to Venice and taking a boat to Cairo. So those are two coincidences, and if the train is going from Paris to Istanbul, I don't know. It's kind of weird that both passengers be going to the same place, the same route. But I think this guy was a doctor, and he's going to Italy, so I'm not sure. I think there may be something here, but I'm not quite sure. I'll just continue talking to him.
Your newspaper caught my eye. May I borrow it for a second?
You can take the section with the article on the burglary. You're interested in that bit, aren't you?
You caught me out.
Here you go.
Dankeschön. There's something else. Do you know where the conductor is?
I'd like to know that myself. I told him to search for my missing suitcase in Zurich. He hasn't got back to me yet. He's probably in cahoots with the thieves and didn't bother getting back on the train. If we don't crack down on vermin like them, the rabble will rule the world one day.
Well, at the moment, we still don't know what really happened.
He is not here doing his job. That's bad enough.
Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
Doesn't look like there's anything else. I'll just go back. I'll go outside. I'm really liking the music. It's nice feel, well done. Just a freight car.
I strongly suspect that the door is locked. No, it's open.
Okay. Oh yeah, that one guy, the Grand is back there.
Hello? Wow.
Don't move a muscle, you feathered fiend.
Put the gun down, Robert. If I may introduce Constable Robert Oliver from the Yard. And this is the revered Constable Zellner of the Swiss police, who obviously couldn't control his curiosity.
Trap.
Then I was right. You really do want to lure someone into a trap.
That's none of your business.
Perhaps that someone recently struck in London.
And how would I bait my trap then?
With an eye? An eye on its way from Zurich to Cairo?
Someone has done his homework. Well done, Constable.
Is that the same guy from the intro? I'm not sure. Kind of looks like him.
I hope you'll acknowledge that I, as a Swiss policeman, can undertake investigations in my own country.
Are we still in Switzerland?
I could be your eyes on the train as long as you're here in the freight car.
Oh, really?
There is a certain Professor Lucien on the train. He's an archaeologist from London.
And what's his story?
Well, it seems someone locked him out of his compartment.
Locked him out?
Well, yes. The door is locked and he's standing outside without a key.
Was it locked from inside?
It may have been. Do you think the locked door could be important?
Professor Lucien plays an important role in this story. Well then, Constable Zellner, be my eyes and ears on the train and see that Professor Lucien gets back into his compartment. Report back to me when you're through.
My pleasure, monsieur.
You ask him about the Raven's Air.
What do you know of this Raven's Air?
He tried to blow me up.
Rob,
It was him.
we don't know who we're dealing with yet.
In any event, the new Raven is a more dangerous man than the old one.
How do you know it's a man? It could just as easily be a woman.
Or several men.
And anyway, how do you know that it's a new Raven?
Monsieur,
Never mind.
I go attend to the door now.
Good. And, Constable Zellner,
Yes?
don't bother us unless you have something new to report.
Of course. A thief might get anxious if there's too much activity in the freight car.
Exactement. Knock twice. Then we'll know that it's you.
Understood.
let's go let the professor back into his room.
An investigation on behalf of Legrand that takes me one step closer. If I can convince him of my competence, I might even be able to see this case through to the end.
Go back to the saloon car. Try knocking on that.
The little label on the door reads Baroness von Trebitz. Blue blood on the Orient Express.
Yes, what is it?
Whoever that is, James, ask them whether they found my purse and then closed the door. The noise on this train is driving me crazy.
You're missing a purse. Was it stolen?
At the very least, I cannot find it, sir.
It was stolen.
When was the last time the Baroness saw her purse?
What?
In Zurich, on the platform, sir.
I just asked where you last saw your purse.
In Zurich, on the platform. James, tell him that I still had it when I got out to stretch my legs.
The Baroness says...
Maybe you lost it there.
What?
The Baroness never loses anything, sir.
I never lose anything.
Very well, then. I shall be on the lookout for your purse. If I might ask you a few questions about your fellow passengers.
I thought he was looking for my purse. James, tell him to look for my purse.
The Baroness wishes that you search for her purse.
But couldn't we perhaps... All right. First, the purse. I will have a look around.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, find the purse. Notebook. Didn't realize this was up here. Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. Alright, I'll just kind of go through this and review it, and so you guys know what's going on. Lady Clarissa Westmacott. I just adore her. To me, she's the greatest author of the century, and certainly the most successful. It's such a shame... Oh, okay, that was a skip right there. It's such a shame that she stopped writing. Haven't read anything about it in the press yet. Fans around the world will be in an uproar when they find out. Clarissa Westmacott's most successful mysteries: Little Indians, Death on the Rails, Murder in Egypt, Under a Full Moon, Styles Affair of Mystery, The Vicarage in the Mirror, Maurice Bertrud's Easter. Little Indians sold more than 100 million copies, making the most successful mystery novel of all time. There you go. What's this? Notes. Dr. Gebhardt. I already spoke to Dr. Gebhardt in Zurich. He's a German doctor planning on finishing up his career in Italy. I can't say I found him particularly likable. He's polite and courteous, but I don't think his friendliness is genuine. Something's off. Constable Robert Oliver. The constable seems to be an honest man, but not a clever one. He worships Legrand. That much is clear. He's proud to be working outside of the great detective. To be honest, I'd feel the same in his place. Okay, Return of the Raven. This is the private notebook of Constable Anton Jakob Zellner. Should you find this book, please send it to your police headquarters. 23rd September 1963. A rather valuable ruby was stolen from the British Museum in London. One of the two legendary eyes of the Sphinx. The press is in a tizzy, as one might expect. They blame the new Raven for besmirching the reputation of the old Raven Père, as the latter never harmed a soul during his exploits. I don't think I'm gonna read through the whole thing. So yeah, I think it's good for now. I mean, we kind of got the. Actually, I'll just read Legrand's trap. Legrand looks different in person, older and more worn. He's still a successful detective, but there are rumors that his methods in recent years have become, shall we say, reckless. Legrand seems to be laying a trap for the new Raven. So we all know this stuff. I just wanted to see what was up there. Yeah. So let's go talk to Professor Lucien again.
He doesn't make a very balanced impression. And he, of all people, isn't bothered by a robbery in his own museum?
Well, it looks like that's not who we're supposed to talk to. Maybe if I find the purse, we'll figure something else out. Let me ask the violinist about the purse.
If I may trouble you once more. A passenger is missing her purse. Perhaps you've seen it.
So, there are thieves on the train.
It's been missing for some time now. Probably since Zurich.
The Swiss don't let go of money easily, do they? Oh, pardon me. No, I haven't seen the purse.
Have a good trip.
Okay. I'll take his word for it. We'll go in the saloon car and ask the author about it, and then we'll go back to the German doctor and ask him about it if we don't find anything else.
An extraordinary woman. Talented, intellectual, extremely rich, and the most successful writer of all time. Yet, they say she can be difficult on occasion, and that she's rather unhappy. Excuse me, Lady Westmacott.
Constable Zellner, how can I help you?
A passenger's purse has gone missing. I suppose you haven't seen it.
I'm sorry, Constable Zellner. As you know, I only deal with murder, not burglary.
Have you asked my boy yet? Maddie is good at finding things.
I'll go and do that now.
Well, there we
Another
go.
time. Farewell, Lady Westmacott.
Constable?
Okay, well, there we go. Let's go talk to the little boy with the red hair. I hope you guys don't find my playstyle a little boring. I kind of play games like these a little slower than most people. But I hope that's fine with you guys. I mean, I don't know. Personally, I'd rather watch just a calm Let's Play as opposed to like some kind of upbeat, just crazy fiasco, I guess you could say. But hopefully this is fine. And where is the boy? Huh. Maybe I'll...
There could be many reasons for the violinist shaking hand. Strained nerves, an illness. My money's on alcohol. He wouldn't be the first musician who ruined his career that way. I don't know what more to ask. He hasn't noticed anything suspicious.
Well, I was just wanting to see if you knew where the boy went, but I don't know where the boy went. I'll ask him about
Hello,
the purse.
Dr. Gebhardt.
Ah, Mr. Zellner.
I meant to ask, the Baroness is missing her purse.
A baroness? This train is really full of the creme de la creme. The queen of crime is over there, and now a baroness as well.
Have you seen the purse?
Unfortunately, no. Do you know Lady Westmacott? You were talking to her?
Well, I'm an admirer of her work.
Like so many others. I once read in the newspaper that only Shakespeare and the Bible sell more copies than her crime novels.
I read that too.
She must be filthy rich. As a doctor, I'd have to work 1,000 years to earn that kind of money.
Auf Wiedersehen, Dr. Gebhardt.
Goodbye, Constable. It was a pleasant chat, really.
Well, I don't know then. Let me go outside and see if I can... Wait.
Maybe if I just suck it.
I'll take one of those sweets. Maybe they'll lead me somewhere. I don't really know how, but... let me go back outside and see if I can find anything.